So it goes to show how much these live streams actually help, because right now in the present moment I couldn't have ever pictured myself making a live stream given the circumstances of my life, but it is something that I've used through for my mental health, as much as I wanted to put out a positive spiritual message. That was the reason in the first place for starting the channel, not therapy, but it's turned into that. Right now, as I said, I was really I'm not in a place to be making to be sharing in this way, but I find myself using the live stream for that use anyway. And I've done that one or two times over the past few days, again in the same situation, and what it's turned into is shorter live streams, because I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be sharing with people I don't want to be sharing with people. I'm in a place where I've been in a weird place with people for a long time, but I found a place with myself where I could still have a relationship on some level, even though it had been torn to shreds. And now I just don't want to know, you know. It's like your best friend who you found out has just cheated on you or something, and you've got a few options. You can either go around there and punch them, you can take it out on anger, or just see the bigger picture that it's part of the world, and you could even forgive them, you know, seeing the bigger picture. But that's not my modus operandi. My modus operandi is to see the bigger picture, but still treat people on the same level that your friend should have had respect for you and not gone behind your back. But either way, I just need to guide myself for a few minutes back to somewhere I can call sanity or normality. And this live stream should help. So I'm allowing myself to prostitute my own self for a higher good, for a greater good. And yeah, but the reason I keep pausing is I'm making, you might notice the picture quality is a lot better than it has been for the past too long, because I've managed to get a phone half working again. I say half working because I purchased it online, and it's just got I've just got to find a way to unlock the network. I'm on a different network than the phone is compatible with, and it's making different beeps and vibration noises as I'm making this live stream, and I don't know what's going on. My iPhone didn't used to do that. But on that point, and I'll get onto the title. It's only a short, it won't be 40 minutes long, it might be 10-15 minutes. But I've been using iPhone since Christmas 2013. I remember when my dad lent me the money that I never repaid him so I could get an iPhone for the first time, my first Apple product other than a keyboard I plugged into my laptop, my Windows computer. And I've just been so happy using, I mean, I know technology, and the reason I've been happy with iPhones is because, well, for two reasons. One is that it's simple. I realised after a couple of years I'm only going to ever use the same few apps. I'm only ever going to set it up the same way. And I've switched to Android, and it's the same thing really, but I went through the settings earlier, and it's like Windows on a phone, but instead of having like a 13-inch screen if you've got a laptop in front of you or a big monitor, you're doing it on something like 5-6 inches. And well, I've developed a mental health disorder, and dealing with detail at that size is just too much of a head fuck. So I was always of the mindset, no, I'm just going to stick with iPhones, but sometimes life doesn't give you the opportunity to purchase and have what you wish in this world. And I just reflected on it for a minute, and as much as you can get an iPhone that would have suited my requirements second hand for maybe £200, £250, I've paid £60 for this phone, and it's, you know, it's not an iPhone. It's definitely not an iPhone. It's not as fast. I can tell I'm going to have issues with it here and there, but I paid £60 for it. So when you put it in that perspective, it's like I've got a mental health disorder too, and I break and lose stuff all the time. So maybe that's the way to go. Just every time I lose my phone, to pay £60-70 to get it replaced. I mean, you'd pay more than that in insurance for a mobile phone in a year. So it is what it is. But the exploration is nothing really, and it's everything. I'm in a weird, well, I've been in a weird place for a while, but I'm battling. You know, demons don't exist where I am. I'm battling existence, and in the weirdest scenario, for the first time, it's like nature. I've given myself the space to just stop and watch it, and it's the birds on the canal that I'm just watching, that I allow my attention to go to. There's nothing else in this world other than the birds on the canals at the moment. Forget the iPhones and technology, the ducks, swans, and there's some other little fuckers that are pathetic really as birds, but one caught my attention the other day. It was giving it like it was a big swan, and it was like having a go at me. But today I was on the way back home, and there's a place just a few minutes down the way where all the birds come out, and well, I don't know what they do, but they always seem to come out onto the path there. And I was watching them, and I noticed a duck, 3 ducks actually, 2 men and a lady, I was looking at the colours on the men first of all, just to let my attention go to it. And then the lady caught me, and she was eating some bread. And my first thought was, oh, you don't want to be eating that, because, well, as a boater, the Canal and River Trust put out information that not to feed the birds bread, because it's not good for them. If you're going to feed them something, feed them kale. And when I've been walking past them and I see swans, I just pick up some grass and chuck it to them, and they're not quite as happy to see floating grass as they are to see bread, but they'll eat it. And this lady was eating some bread, and I looked at her, and it was like she was going to have a fit. She was violently trying to swallow this bread. And when I say violently, I mean violently. She was not having an easy time of it. I mean, she got in the water in there and then had a sip of water, and I think that might have been it for her. But my thought was, why do they do it? Why do they eat the bread? Because they must have eaten the bread before. I appreciate the taste must be something that's nice for them, that they like. But she's borderline having a fit trying to eat this bread. It's as if they don't have a active memory enough to resist the desire of the taste. The taste is over. The painful experience to actually eat it. And really, that's as far as I can let my consciousness go. There's no thought from me, there's no conclusion, it's just that's the observation. And the observation is that awareness and consciousness, where consciousness spawns from. So in other words, the ability as a human being to eat something that's not good for you, enjoy it in the moment, and then be aware that maybe 3-4 hours later you have an upset stomach, and the next time you do it, because you don't put 2 and 2 together the first time, the second time, the third time, it might take you a few times to remember. But eventually we get the picture. If we have a physical reaction to something that isn't good for us, or we don't know that it's not good for us, but we have a response that it's must not be good for us. You know, we don't need to be a genius to see the big picture. But then again, like human beings, there are complexities to our life, and we do stuff, you know, like smoking. Smoking isn't bad for you if it's in check to the amount. I smoke far too much. I shouldn't be smoking this much. I said to myself, I've got a space for 2 months to smoke. And while my mental health wanted to play a game with me and teach me a lesson, and it's been, what, 6 months, a year, tobacco. I mean, I was smoking CBD hemp for other reasons before. But tobacco, I gave myself a 2 month space. My mental health has jumped on board, and it's like, I'm not going to give you that space. So I've sort of said, fuck it, you don't want to give me the space, I'll kill myself slowly with tobacco. I hate this life, I hate this world. And really and truly, is it the same for the duck, you know? Because life on the canals must be shit to what it's like. Pardon my brutality to reality. But life on the canals must be shit too. Being totally free on a lake in the middle of a beautiful untouched scenery. You've got the constant disturbance of peace with the boats and the noise and the people and the bread and the God knows what else goes into the canals. They're not clean environments, and that probably does mess with the brain of the bird. And that's the exploration together. There's no more to say. That's my observation without any thought. Where my mind went with the limited resources I had within me just to be with nature. And that's there for you to hear those words. If you want to think, if you want to delve into that, go for it. Or you could see if your mental health gives you the space just to allow your mind to observe, to hear, to ponder without pondering. Other than that, if I carry on, it's just going to be expletives about this world, life and everything else. So I'll say goodbye now.